Venom isn't a villain anymore, and he hasn't been for quite some time. Before I break it all down though, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, Marvel, all that kind of stuff, be sure to hit that follow button. To the general public, Venom is very much still associated with being a Spider-Man villain. The truth is, Venom, specifically Eddie Brock, hasn't been a Spider-Man villain since the 1990s. Obviously, we still get Spider-Man media where Venom is a villain, the most recent being Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac. And in this game, it wasn't Eddie Brock that was Venom, it was actually Harry Osborn. They gave us a really cool different take on the character, they made him very much the villain of the game. But in the comics, it is completely different. This might surprise a lot of people who might not have read a lot of Venom comics in the modern day, but Tom Hardy's take on Venom is actually really similar to the comics, give or take a few changes, especially his origin story not being related to Spider-Man at all. In the comics, there is this constant back and forth between Eddie Brock and the symbiote. It can actually be as goofy and corny as what we see in the films, although in the comics it does go a lot deeper and Eddie Brock is going through like a current redemption arc. But even when he was like a straight up villain to Spider-Man, in his head he was still a hero, and technically was still kind of an anti-hero even though he was constantly going after Spider-Man. Me personally, I would consider Eddie Brock an anti-hero because he does unalive his villains. A lot of Marvel heroes consider him a superhero. Captain America even offered him a place on the Avengers during the Donny Cates Venom run. The Venom symbiote has had multiple hosts, and depending on the intentions of the person wearing the suit, he could be a villain. The last time he was a true villain in the comics was when Scorpion was wearing a symbiote, and Eddie Brock was anti-Venom at the time. When I tell people that Venom is one of my favourite superheroes, I get some really weird looks because they're like, isn't he a villain? And Eddie Brock is in my top 5 comic book characters of all time. Like, I absolutely love him as a character, he's so compelling. I think outside the Tom Hardy Venom trilogy, we're not really ever going to get him being an anti-hero in adaptations. Personally, for me, I'm fine with that though. I don't really care how like the audience perceives a character I'm into or anything. But I do like telling people that he is a superhero in the comics now because they always just kind of look at me like, what the fuck?